Hey, this is Mike with Ideas by Mike. Today on Stories, Resources, and Ideas, there's good news that we're going to share. And the good news is that you control your future. I want to share a past story with you about somebody that was important to me in my life and just encourage you that today is going to be great.
All right, welcome to this week's Stories, Resources, and Ideas. I'm your host, Mark Conway, and we are here to hear good news from Mike Milligan. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you, Mark?
I am doing good. It seems to be continuing that push towards better weather, and, the kids are excited that they're winding down the school year, so there are some definitely good things on the horizon.
Spring break's coming up, I'm sure, and they're going to look to be out of school.
They are very
there's
excited.
There's a lot to come about. You're still you still got a lot of great stuff coming up after your debut on TV.
Definitely.
And a lot of good stuff coming up there. So, there's a lot to celebrate that's good. We get so bogged down in the bad that there's so much to be excited about and to share stories about of really good things. Have you had anything good happen to you in the last week or so, Mark?
Absolutely. I'll be like you talked about, I had that debut on the Cooking Channel, and that looks like it could be turning into some more things in the food sport world. So I'm super excited about the direction those are going.
Oh my goodness, are you going to be hosting like an eating competition or something like that?
It could be a few different things. So I'm keeping my eyes open, and there's another just really goofy, fun project in the works that's probably going to be the rekindling of a sketch comedy kind of thing. So I'm looking. It's like I said, it's you just keep putting the work in, and things start to come through.
Caitlin in the month of January and February. Caitlin from my office, Kanye being Kanye type of thing for the new year. She actually hosted trivia at a local bar down on the water where we live in January, February. And her last week was on trivia, sports trivia. And one of the questions she came up with was on competitive sports eating. Like the most hot dogs with buns eaten at that Nathan's hot dog event. And, I don't know how much time they get, but the guy ate 73 hot dogs with buns. That was not a good day it's a good day because he won money, but not a good day probably afterwards.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good day for his gastrointestinal tract.
No. But we are here to talk about a good day and a good story. As part of my journey in life, at one point I've got some backstories in baseball that I often share with people. People who know me know about them. But I coached the high school baseball team for about a year. And I don't know if you know much about high school baseball, but coaches don't get paid an over a lot of money. They do it for the love of the game, to invest in kids. They do it because there is some camaraderie with other coaches, and you get to know umpires. But I used to find a lot of value in being a coach. I think that even in my financial planning, financial outcome business that I deal with, there's a lot of coaching that goes on, coaching on behavior, how you deal with things, how you overcome obstacles to get that outcome that people desired. But my first year I coached at this private school that I coached at for 10 years, there was a lot of negativism around the team. They had won, basically just a few games over the previous decade. The previous coach, an amazing guy, but just had some life circumstances that brought other negativity into him. So I came in with kind of a degree of hope and optimism with a group of kids that, quite frankly, didn't know how to play baseball very well. And they were in a very competitive conference where schools were, unmerciful. They would just come and beat the fool out of us always. But I had this kid that was So this was 15 years ago now. So I had this kid who was just a little down on himself. He was on any really good baseball team would probably not be playing much. But he was a starter, he had some skills, he had some tools. In baseball, we talk about 5 tools of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to run fast, hit with power, great arm velocity, and being able to play defense. I've probably missed something in there, but that's basically them. This kid if those were 5 tools, this kid probably had a quarter of a tool, to be honest. He wasn't very talented. What also really hurt him too was his attitude. He just didn't have a good attitude about what was going on because he didn't know anything positive in his life. Had a great mother who worked hard, worked a couple jobs, had a sister who was good. But here's the thing, and he was a senior that year. It was the only year I got to coach him. But here's the thing that happened with this kid, and I'm going to tie this back into money in a minute. But this kid kind of learned in that last little part of his senior year. It was like 4 months that I got to coach him. He learned that there's somebody who can be hard on you. Mm-hmm. But just because you're hard on you doesn't mean you want something negative as an outcome. It means that they just see something in you that's a little bit different. We know that under that diamonds are formed under pressure. That there's just a lot of examples in nature of things that, when put to the test, come out better than they were before. Mm-hmm. So I kind of put him to the test pretty significantly and just demanded a little bit. I mean, the 4th game in that year, he was sitting on the bench with me crying, just saying, "I'm not going out anymore. Coach, you're being too hard on me." By the 12th or 13th game that year, he was picking up just a little bit. His friend who was on the team with me came to me one time as a big brother protector saying, "Coach, you're being too hard on him." And I said, and I had to tell his friend, "Hey, buddy, you need to go over there and let me deal with him. Let me work with him one-on-one. And I respect that you care for him this much, but don't treat him like a softie. Treat him like you treat yourself. Make him work as hard as you work." So we keep going forward. And, we ended that year winning more games that year than the team had won in the last 12 years. Winning's not everything, by the way. It's when you're competing in athletics, you ultimately want to win, but winning's not everything. Because here we are 15 years later. Let me tell you the win in this is this kid went to college. He became a leader in his fraternity at a local school, went on to law school, and he's an attorney now. And of all the kids that graduated in that group, he was probably the softest one of the bunch. He was one that struggled a little bit just in living daily. And so when this outcome happens for him, 8 years of grueling school, 5 years of undergraduate, 3 years of law school, I ran into him about 2 months ago because he works in a law firm that handles real estate closings for my significant other. Mm. And she told him that, "Hey, I know about you a little bit." And he said, "Oh, I bet you do." He's like, "I bet you heard how lazy I am and how much of a disappointment." She goes, "No, that's not what I know about you at all. What I know about you is that you struggled without a dad in the home, and that you overcame that adversity to get a law degree. And Mike is so proud of where you've come from because of where you were at that time. You're a regionally recognized attorney 7 years into your practice, 6 years into your practice for handling real estate deals because you're trustworthy and honest." And so this guy, we'll call him Jeff. Jeff told her, "I'm like that because of how he treated me over that time. And then how he checked on me." this life is a relationship business. That's what life is. It's how you deal with your relationships and how you move forward with people. So it's interesting that he points back to that little 4-month part of his, 27 years in this world, 28 years in this world. It's hard that he points back to that. And he points back to how during that time I would tell stories about how successful they were going to be, like forward casting, right? Like, you're going to be successful doing this. You're going to be successful doing this. And it's always me trying to put into people saying that you control the outcome of your future. The same thing we do for financial outcomes and clients. But here's the good part about this is his personality now is different. The good news that he brings to his everyday is not the pessimistic Eeyore type character. If you remember Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, he's not that guy. Like that guy I found when he was playing on that baseball team. He's more like a Tigger character from Winnie the Pooh. He's bouncing around, ready to help, ready to do anything he can. And so it's perspective. So many people in life take an Eeyore approach to things. Woe is me. Where are we going? What are we going to do? Very few take the Tigger approach to things in life. And so the good news is, we can break things down to simple things like baseball games, baseball teams, children's cartoons. And when you do that, you can really create a story that is of your choice. It's of your making. It's of your path forward. Not looking externally, but really diving down internally and going that I see something I want. I see somebody's vision for me. I see somebody's purpose for me. And I believe in it, and I'm going to grasp it now. And boy, when he took that and went forward with it, and he became a lawyer. I would have probably thought of some other professions. If you're an attorney, I love you. But in generally, I don't want to see you, because attorneys just in general, when they come a knocking, it's not good news. But boy, when I see him now, when I see the success path that he's going on, it's because he made a choice to not let his circumstances dictate what he was going to be in his life. He grabbed it by the horn and said, I'm going to lead a fraternity. I'm going to live life to the fullest. Because, those frat parties are not, church services. But I'm going to live life to the fullest. And he did that. And then he got into law school. And, he passed through law school, came out working for a great firm, helping people make their American dream come through by handling real estate transactions. Wow, what a good story. And what one that's just invigorating. I don't care if you're 17, 18 years old, if you're 35, 45, 55, or 60, if you've got time to live in this world, you can change the outcome of anything you're going for in the future that you have control over. You could change your diet and get healthy. You can become wealthier. I'm not saying you're going to be wealthy, but you can become wealthier. You can have more money in the future than you have now. You can perpetuate wealth onto your kids and your grandkids by doing the right things, like a child asset builder or just saving for, right? There's all these things you could do, but the future is yours to control, not somebody else's, because one day we're all going to be gone. 100% guaranteed, one of the few guarantees in life, we're all going to be gone. And boy, if you live today with purpose that it's going to be a good day, you can change your story, right? And there's great resources out there to figure out there's great resources out there. You can get inspiration. You can wake up every day and put on your favorite jam music. I don't know what you do, but on Sundays, Mark, I listen to reggae music first thing because I think Sunday's the start of my day, and I put reggae on, and it just gets me going for the week. But you can put music on. There's a tip there. You can reach out to somebody. If you haven't been told today that you've been loved, man, call somebody who will tell you they love you. If you're fortunate enough to still have your mom living, call her. She'll tell you she loves you. Your kids probably won't tell you all the time unless you tell them first.
Yep.
But man, call, start your day with some music. Get told I love you. Good God, go to YouTube and pull up a comedian and just laugh for a while. And boy, you're no matter what's happening in the world, oil prices be damned, gas prices be damned, all that stuff. Feel good about something and watch your life change. Financially, it's the same thing about your money. Plan budgets. If you have those in place and you stick to them and just let those things ride and then have fun doing everything else you do, you're going to wake up one day wealthier than you were now. So, man, that's the big idea, Mark. Let's let good things happen to us. Go out and seek them, because you've heard me say it before. We're renting time on this earth. We're not here for long. We don't own this place. We're going to go back into it one day. So, man, make the story the best you can. Identify resources. Reggae music. Getting told I'm loved. Getting told I'm wanted. That pours into me. When that pours into me, I'm having a good time. And so that's what I want everybody to know.
I mean, and that's the thing. It's such a good point, because, if we're sitting and we're watching TV and it's a show we don't like, it's not going to change itself. You have to change the channel. You got to pick up the remote, change the channel to something you want to. Life is the same way. You can't just keep doing the same thing and expect it's going to change. You have to put that work in. And, when you want to find help, you want to find guidance on putting that work in, you follow on Instagram, Ideas by Mike. And so follow that page. That's the team you're going to be messaging. It's Mike and his team. Send them questions, send them ideas, send them thoughts. Let them start working with you and working for you. And then you can also go to the website, meetwithmikemilligan.com, and put in a formal request. This is an incredible team that cares, just like you heard in that story there, to help you change your fortune and turn your ideas into money. Well, guys, it's been another great podcast. Thank you, Mike. And we'll see you guys again next week.
Awesome.